Good morning, coffee moaners.
Good morning, coffee moaners. I hope you've got your coffee. I hope you've got your tea. I am into something at the moment that actually
share that now.
Dr. Sims recommended.
The prostate massage.
No, not the prostate massage. Now, who was our wonderful follower here the other day said, why does everyone keep talking about protein when we never used to talk about protein?
Yeah, someone did say that.
Was it Jordan? So that
No.
Anyway.
Happy birthday, Nad, says Zoe.
Thank you, Zoe.
Thanks. It's not a birthday. By the way, this entire live is based on a true story.
Based on a true story. So anyway,
God, that black sheep coffee is so good.
So anyway.
So good.
Oh, is it nice?
Oh my God, smell it. It's creamy.
Oh God, it's strong.
Try it.
No, I'm having an iced coffee.
Black.
I'm having an iced
I'm the
coffee.
black sheep.
He's the black sheep of the family. I have to try that in my morning coffee tomorrow.
I'm glad you wear them.
So this is how I start my day now.
Yeah. Because
protein, they are obsessed with it. Everywhere you look, everything you read. And if you are post-menopausal like me, 60, probably I've already got disintegrating muscles at a terrible rate.
Have you got veins that are bleeding on your buttocks?
No. Why did you ask such a stupid and revolting question? Can I just finish telling them about my coffee? Or you can interrupt me 10 more bloody times. Does anyone want to know about my coffee?
Yes, everyone.
That means I've got at least 30 to 40 grams
everyone wants to know
protein.
About your coffee.
And I learned this from Dr. Sims on YouTube. She's got big muscles. Anyway, so she, like me, doesn't really like breakfast first thing. So the night before, except I'm going to be honest, I don't make one the night before because I'm never organised like that. So it's a shot of coffee and a milk and loads of ice, but also scoop of protein.
Oh, mate.
So it tastes, and I use a mocha. I use chocolate, a spoonful of chocolate protein powder and a spoonful of vanilla protein powder. Make sure you use one without any nasties in it. And you mix it up. It is so delicious. It tastes like a mocha latte with extra caramel syrup.
What is a mocha?
Coffee and chocolate. We're so different. He's got nuclear coffee and I've got sweet latte, cupcake cookie, cupcake coffee.
Morning, everyone. Still laughing, says Anna-Marie Shellard over Dina, the herb kicker. She is. She's a herb kicker.
If you wonder what we're talking about, this was our family reality show. Our family reality show that was on last night. Can I ask you, please, to hit the subscribe button because we make so much bloody content on here.
I can't do these anymore.
And you subscribing makes us feel good. He's had my eyelashes on the whole time. Do you know what?
I wanted to be close to you.
Yesterday morning, my daughter came downstairs and she was like, Mum, have you put those there on purpose? I went, what? She went, she took my hair like that.
Oh, when
they were in my... She goes, how have they stayed on in your
They were stuck to an onion.
No, because then I took them out.
Yeah, and they were on an onion. They were stuck to an onion.
ADHD. Here we are.
Anyway, guys, morning. How are you? How is everyone's mental health today? I had a little bit of a crisis yesterday on the live and afterwards too. But how is everyone feeling? Because these days, these moments, this epoch, this era that we're going through is a challenge to everyone. Obviously, this is first world challenges compared to the GAZANS. No one's in any way drawing a comparison. But my God, it can be tough sometimes, can't it? Such a beautiful day, says Nadia Mansour. Really enjoyed home time last night. Loved it. So good to see Nanny die too. Yes, okay. I'm up and down, says Zoe Agnew. Disempowered, says Rachel Thomas.
Exactly. And today we are going to be talking about Netanyahu's free choice. Now, my mental health cannot allow me to watch Netanyahu anymore. So Mark's going to play a video that I haven't actually seen yet. So I'll be watching it live with you because it's so stomach churning. And after the Nobel Peace Prize debacle yesterday, we all needed a lie down.
Yeah.
And Mark, you say we're also going to be talking about a fascinating thing that Mark did around genocide, a genocide question. It's so good what he did. And falling asleep in public. Hugh Grant. You didn't put Hugh Grant in the title. People are crazy about Hugh Grant.
Yeah, no,
crazy.
I'm crazy about him.
My sister, she's the only man. She's the only man she'd put down her singlehood.
Her
for.
courgette.
So
would she kick his herbs? I bet she wouldn't kick Hugh's herbs. Anyway.
So we're going to be talking about all those things, but just for a moment on the mental health side. So those of you that may be new to this channel, we are always really open about mental health, because we are not the kind of family that says only goes on mental health day, struggling, to be really advocate for mental health and what it means to live with mental health, means to bring it up. We are daily content creators, if you like. And so I said to Mark this morning, I think we should mention that you had a real bipolar low yesterday. And it's like watching a physical pain, but it's a mental pain. So from the perspective of being the partner of somebody with a mental health pain like that, also wanted to speak to those that are partners, because it is painful for us as well, isn't it? Because we just want to fix it and we can't, and knowing when is the right moment to just allow, but be nearby if they need anything and all of that. But you know what? Yesterday when Mark, and you kept sort of apologizing for feeling so low, and I said to you, didn't I? And you said earlier just there, compared to, we cannot compare to. What we are all taking, this is what Mr. Harriman said to me the other day as well. He said, we are taking stuff in that human beings are not actually made to take in, right? So all of us, getting hit so hard sometimes that we feel like we've been knocked over by a bloody bus is human. That's what it is. And it's about us not having always the capability to deal with this horror. I mean, I saw a video just 10 minutes ago before we came on. There's no way we can show you that video. It is a horror movie. I said to Mark, I've got to find some way to get this out there, though. So I might actually do a description on a later video, because I don't want to actually show you it. But I've taken that into my soul this morning. It's in, and of course it's not like living in it. There's nothing as worse as that. But that doesn't mean it's not damaging us all a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, straight after the live yesterday.
Be kind to yourselves, guys, on those low mental health days. Be kind.
Straight after the live yesterday, I sort of burst into tears. But the reason I think, it's a really tricky one. And I was explaining to one of my daughters this morning in the car, because she, bless her, said, can you just describe what is it like when you enter? I said, well, look, first of all, when you enter a bipolar sort of fugue or a low or whatever you want to call it, I said, well, the weird thing about it is you would think that there's kind of bells and whistles and a welcoming carpet that says you're about to enter. And so we're all clear on this. And as a bipolar person, you go, oh, I'm trotting in. I can put all the alerts up and the like. You don't. And I think this is something I've heard other people with bipolar and other mental health conditions. Just because it happens a lot doesn't mean you know it. And it also doesn't mean that you don't want to, in your own way, fight the inevitability of it or struggle against it or resist it, which is why family members and people around who go, I could see it coming, and they sense why you're resistant. It's not because you're not being obtuse. You're trying to kind of almost imagine turbulence, and the pilot's told, well, just don't feel it. It's like, no. I've kind of just got to. I need to kind of.
Oh, I would never say don't feel it.
No. You don't say that. No. But the person who's undergoing whatever they're going through is trying to, because they're aware that they don't want to present to the world. So after the live yesterday, I kind of got down. I said to man, the thing about bipolar is there's this idea that it's a medical condition, and many other mental health conditions have this, and so it's just a biological thing, a cerebral kind of cortisol kind of thing that happens. But actually, it is attached to real world stuff. So
Kimberly,
I came out of the live yesterday, and actually, I think I hit my lowest point yesterday of not being able to intellectually or existentially get round not just the horrors of what we're seeing, because actually, and this, bear with me with this, there is a limit to the horrors that you can see. There's only so much you can do to a human body. I mean, it sounds awful. There's only so much you can be surprised by. And it's not that you don't feel the horror. You feel the horror, to quote Joseph Conrad. But I think we're turning a very different corner at the moment, where I really, really, really feel we're being asked to accept and tolerate something that fundamentally goes against what it means to stay alive as a human, as a moral being, as a soulful individual with a connection with other humans. I feel like we are in the middle of and then this is nothing new, but it is truly monstrous what we're being asked to get on board with. And the monstrosity is both in terms of what we're about to hear from the most hideous dictator in the world, but also it's in the silences. Lammy yesterday, I can't even, I literally can't find words for it. So when you can't find words and you have a mental health condition and you're kind of, and you're bipolar dip.
And you're a humanitarian with a human heart. You know, the thing is, yes, you have a chemical thing that goes on with bipolar, but I definitely, because sometimes I think I know you're bipolar better than you do because I'm watching it, but you're in the maelstrom of it, but I'm watching it. So it has an A, B, C, D, E for me when I watch it. And I definitely see that there is a trigger around injustice.
Oh my God.
That I see it trigger you. And then if you haven't got in place good sleep, and then if a couple of other, you know, really horrible things come in, I see you destabilize. Sleep being a big pointer for me. Your sleep goes down. You then try and lose yourself in work, and then but injustice, honestly, Mark, is a trigger for you. And you have managed, like many people across the world are managing their mental health, having to do it in a different way over the last 21
but
months.
It's a
Anyone who's been engaged in this is having to look after mental health.
But it's a little bit analogous to, and I was talking to another daughter about this the other day, it's a little bit analogous to, I'm one of those people that when an injustice is happening, say in a row, I feel that, and some people might find this annoying, and it may be and I think it is a neurodiversity thing. I feel that if we tiptoe through this in an explanatory fashion, highlighting what issues here, explaining, everyone will get to the end of this. And it's not about being right or being wrong, but it's about, let's tiptoe through this fairly equitably, you know, whatever the word is, in an equal fashion, and fairly and honestly. And at the end of it, here's the facts. And this actually is interesting because we're going to have there's a moment in this live where I did something very similar with the AI. It's kind of odd. And so I just feel like, even as cynical as I am and as gallows human, everything I've gone through in my life, I feel like right now, the inability to make people see what's happening is the worst. It's like when I've had arguments with people in the past and I've tried to explain and all they've done is just delete it. I can't bear it. I'm like, hang on a minute. I haven't written this to prove a point, to make this, you are just choosing to ignore it? To ignore it? I don't understand how these people go to bed at night. I don't understand how Lammy and Starmer and all these politicians who stand in the House of Commons with their stupid voices go, rah, rah, rah. How do they all go to bed at night? I just don't get it.
Sometimes when I have to go and work outside of the house, I can't tell you, I get the strangest kind of vulnerability that I've never had in my life before. It's like almost like I'm made of glass, because the tiptoeing that one has to do out in the world, being with people that aren't like-minded, because I've always quite enjoyed people that aren't like-minded. Do you know what I mean? I'm very sort of robust like that, you know, and I am so lucky that I've never suffered from depression or anything like that with my mental health. But I feel like glass. And so I do often think, what is this like if you've already got a part of you that is very glass? And when I'm saying that, I'm not saying that as a weakness. I'm truly not. It's not about, oh, you know, I'm tough and you're made of glass. That if that's coming across, that's not what I mean. It's just, I think all our beautiful brains are just so different, and what one person can sail through, another person can't. And that's why I think all our brains are neurodiverse, you know. But I get a little sense of how cautious one has to be sometimes with one's.
Oh, but I've got
self.
zero.
But I've
I'm
never
really
experienced this
worried.
in my
I've got
life
such
before.
an intolerance. If you're not hamstrung by this, you don't exist to me. I mean, you have the right to exist, but you don't exist to me.
Oh.
No, you don't get into that. No, but literally, if you are not hamstrung by this, on morally, ethically, emotionally,
says that on Young Turks. He goes, "If you're not disgusted by the fact
you don't
that
have a
30,000 children, you're disgusting. You're just."
Right, Well, yeah. Then if you are not, but well, okay, if you are not hamstrung by this, morally, ethically, emotionally, physically, politically, socially, culturally, you are inhumane. You are not a human, and you have the right to exist, but I want nothing to do with you. Absolutely nothing to do with you. And it's really difficult that we have to have something to do with these politicians. There's another march, July 19th. You look at the route, and I look at it all, and I feel futile. There is a futility. It doesn't matter if 5 million people were on the streets.
Yeah, but Mark, you know what the marches are about? They're about solidarity.
No, absolutely.
But yes, it's not going to shift, but it's about saying we're here. We are a huge group of people, and we disagree with you. We know it's not going to change the minds, because nothing will, because they all pretend to be a democratic country right across the world. We're seeing, and none of it is. So it's about not feeling like glass, because you're with other people that feel the same way as you, and it's just so exhilarating.
No, I agree.
And it fuels us to be able to
that is
keep
the
on.
joy of this community.
That's the power of the march. It's like
someone posted yesterday. I'm sorry, I have to say this. Someone posted yesterday, who I know, about a bed in a hotel. I had to hurl my fucking phone across the room. I couldn't bear it. I could not bear it. I was like, you are fucking joking me.
Wasn't comfortable.
You're worried about a fucking bed to sunbathe on? To me, it feels like a horror story to be bothered by that. And of course, they might have been dealing with it all outside of that, and this is their let's get a sunbed moment. That's
exactly, and they may not be engaged with what they are, but it's not that they're wrong. It's just the way that we're receiving stuff. They're not wrong, like, because we're all posting about different stuff, but it's the way we're receiving what other people are doing. And on a bad mental health day, something like that can feel really bad, can't it?
I want to play a clip that one of my girls sent me, and I have to give a pre-warning. If you're sensitive to the CUNT word, you might want to just turn the volume down. But I do.
We're allowed to with YouTube.
Yeah, I think so. But this guy, there's something about this that's funny, but also it's about something completely separate and different. But it speaks to the problem in the world, and it was just interesting that one of our girls sent me this, and they sent it like state of the world. You ready? So,
Jordan Rodway, I think your boyfriend's doing a good thing for you there.
Twitter makes me so angry. My boyfriend is making me not go on there now between Gaza and just transphobes. I get so angry from it.
Yeah. You know what? Take a break. Like my sister is on holiday at the moment, and I said to her, take a proper break. And she messaged me yesterday. She goes, oh my God, it's so bad. And I said, no, you're taking a break. She goes, I can't, it keeps leaking through. I said, no, take a break. And if you're really feeling that all the time, do take a break. It's okay to. I'm saying this when I say this to myself because I feel guilty when I take a break. But you look after you, and then you can come back.
Thank you, Nat. You both speak sense. Keep being used. I just want to share Lake Street's comment. Not seen you comment before. Thanks, Lake Street.
Hi, Lake.
The marches are always labelled as hate marches, yet they are the most friendly marches you could possibly attend. Lots of families, hardly any police. It's literally a day off of the police. I know.
Like, I'm so glad.
I see them just standing there smiling.
Do you know what? They had to stop with the hate march, didn't they?
Yeah, they had to.
And I'm really glad you brought that up, because it reminds me that if you just consistently just keep saying the truth and saying it's how you feel, which is what we're doing every time at that march, we are saying we are together. It's wrong. They gave up. They tried to make them hate march. They gave up. It was almost constant, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and
totally.
All of us know that went to this. They were not hate marches. Still say more people would be arrested at a football match each week. More people would be arrested at Glastonbury. All these things than at those hate marches. Thank you for reminding me.
I just share Leap here. You do make me laugh so much. I'm offering workshops on how to take a break for yourself if anyone wants to. I just love you.
Please follow Lee.
Please
Oh,
follow
Lee, I
Lee.
miss you.
Lee's
We
here.
we don't spend enough time together.
Lee, you might really enjoy this.
One
Check
of my
this guy
favourite
out.
people in the world.
Absolutely, you're one of the funniest guys I know.
One of my favourites.
Here, check this out. As a pre-warning, the CUNT word's in here, but we've seen far worse in Gaza. I'm sure we can go.
Hey, cunts. So a bottle of water will cost you 50 cents at the supermarket, $2 at the gym, $3 at the fucking movies, or $6 on a fucking plane. Cunts. It's the same fucking bottle of water, same fucking water, nothing's fucking changed. The only thing that's changed its value is its fucking location. Cunts. So next time you're feeling you've got no fucking self-worth, maybe you need to change your location, cunts. Location talk. No, cunts, love you.
Who is this guy? I've got to follow him.
Let's have him one more time.
Oh, God.
Just listen to the way he throws the CUNT.
He doesn't even need that word.
No,
because it's
but
hilarious.
Hey, cunts. So a bottle of water will cost you 50 cents at the supermarket, $2 at the gym, $3 at the fucking movies, or $6 on a fucking plane. Cunts. It's the same fucking bottle of water, same fucking water, nothing's fucking changed. The only thing that's changed its value is its fucking location. Cunts. So next time you're feeling you've got no fucking self-worth, maybe you need to change your location, cunts.
I want to
Location talk.
I want to live this.
No, cunts, love you.
I fucking love him.
Oh my God, he's a proper crusty.
I
He's a proper crusty.
fucking
He's
love
just
him.
living off the earth. He's gone, fuck all of this bollocks. That's who I want to be, except I'll keep my teeth.
I just love him.
Oh my God. I hope Lee stayed there
Maddie
for
sent
that.
it to me. State of the world.
It's genius. I'm going to have to put that on my feed. I love that.
Oh my God.
Who is he so people can follow him?
I don't know. Well, hang on. Let me see if I've got
Because
his name. Hang on.
We always like to say the person's name when we share their content and hopefully build them up a bit.
Oh, here we go. I think is this his name? Paul. Here we go. Paul _Fluffy Sinclair.
Paul _Fluffy _.
Let's just hear his most popular one.
Hey, cunts. So I'm at the fucking local caravan park here in Wedderburn, and everyone's got their little fucking setups. And you've seen my little fucking camper trailer setup. I fucking love it, but have a look what's just fucking pulled in last night, cunts.
What is it?
Oh, the fucking size of that thing. That's not camping. That's fucking cheating, cunts. It's even got little fucking rooms that come out the side. It's got fucking upstairs. Get the fuck out of here, Big Sky. For fuck's sake, cunts. The fucking Hilux SR5 is not going to be able to tow that fucking thing. I'll give you the hot tip. It's just a bit fucking excessive, don't you think? No, cunts, love you.
You know who Rachel would love those. Got to send those to Rachel.
Oh,
that just so sums up, doesn't it? Matter choice, the amount we want more. What is camping about?
Yeah.
Camping is about being. It's a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah. What do you mean? You like glamping, isn't that what he's talking about there?
I don't want to suffer, but that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, Teresa, I hate the C word, but from him, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's almost thrown under the kind of truck, quite literally. Okay, so we've got to I've been sort of staving it off and holding him at bay and holding him away. And we're going to show you a clip now.
Oh, no.
Which is the single most evil individual on the planet. And I don't want anyone to get their knickers in a twist here. He's a wanted war criminal. He's engaging in a live, living, killing genocide. And he's trotting around the world because everyone's batshit scared because Mossad controls everywhere. So this is him having come out of the White House. And he proposes, I'm only going to show it once because I've seen it twice and I can't bear to watch it again. But notice the way he interacts with someone in the crowd. When he asks her a question, bear in mind that when she answers, someone very funnily put underneath this post in the comments, She sounded vaguely scared for a moment, like it was going to be taken away from her. Just have that thought in your mind. Listen to this. This is the most unedifying spectacle, most unedifying spectacle of a genocidal maniac pretending to be reasonable.
A second meeting with President Trump. I want to inform you something that will shock the various reports that come out. President Trump and I have a common goal. We want to achieve the release of our hostages. We want to end Hamas rule in Gaza. We want to make sure that Gaza does not pose a threat to Israel anymore. In pursuing this common goal, we have a common strategy. Not only do we have a common strategy, we have common tactics. This doesn't involve pressure, doesn't involve coercion, it involves full coordination. President Trump wants a deal, but not at any price. I want a deal, but not at any price. We're not pushing out anyone, and I don't think that's President Trump's suggestion. His suggestion was giving them a choice. You have a choice. Where do you live, madam? Where do you live? In D.C.? Are you an American citizen? Do you think you have a right to go to another country if you seek to do so? But the Palestinians should have that right. It's called the freedom of choice and nothing more than that. No coercion, no forcible dislocation.
Where do you live, madam? Do you think you have the right to travel outside of DC? So let's just be clear. You're going to put 2 million people in a cage. You're going to threaten them with death.
It's not 2 million now, remember?
Well, no, exactly. But 600,000, but the rest of whatever the Gazan population is now, we're going to hem you into a cage. We're going to tell you that if you're not in this area, you are a viable target and will be killed outside of it.
Because the IDF are going to have guns trained on you.
Yeah. And we are then going to hold a gun to your head. We're going to starve you. We're going to put bait stations around you. Your children are going to feel vulnerable. We're going to say, it's your choice.
You can stay here or you can go somewhere else with nothing, because we've demolished your home. You have no money in your pocket. You've been raided and you've got to go to another country. Freedom of choice. Do what we say or die. Die. Can you believe the bit? Can you actually believe it? Not only can I not believe that that's the offer to the Gazans, but the fact that he can stand there and not hear. Because it's hubris. It's hubris like Trump. It's sociopathy, Mark. No conscience. Zero conscience. Well, let's play just before we play UNICEF guy explaining actually where they are at the moment. Yeah, but before we play that, I'm just going to show you. Danny fucking Price posted this carousel today. Do follow him on Instagram. So he does carousels. They're always very immediate and in your face, very good. Hey, just so you're all aware, once Israel has built its concentration camps of Palestinians, anyone not in those camps will be eliminated. As in fucking murdered. This is Israel Hayom, as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's insistence. The establishment of humanitarian zones will also proceed during any ceasefire should one occur. According to the plan, this is an Israeli publication, each Gazan entering the humanitarian zone will undergo inspection to ensure they carry no weapons and are not affiliated with Hamas. Consequently, those outside these zones will be identified as Hamas terrorists, providing legal justification for their elimination. An IDF spokesman declined to respond to an inquiry from Israel Hayom. And as Israel continues to meet pretty much every definition of genocide, the West continues to smile and give Israel the means to continue. But don't you dare start publicly calling for an end to the actions of Israel. If you do, the Western governments will literally try to put you in jail. Fuck Israel. That's Danny fucking Price. But you know what? They've been doing this all the way along. All of you move from the north to the south, moved from the south to the west, a leaflet is dropped. You've got 2 hours. You've got an hour to get out. If you haven't got out, then you will be deemed Hamas and you will be shot. They've been doing this for the last 20 months. And now it's just all concentrated into one camp. Okay. Yeah, it's just, okay. Let's play UNICEF just to see why somebody might think maybe I should go to another country. And it's not because they wanted to. Yeah.
To see how much worse it had got. I didn't think, I would see a population put under that much more stress. Somehow we've gone from that level of a population, grave risk of starvation, children are starving, to water deprivation, forced water deprivation. This is purely political. This is not logistical. So to see this, Kathy, like a collision on a child's body now of a deprivation of food that everyone's heard about for a long time, but now a level of water which is way below any emergency standard. What that does to a child, but what that does to a community, the stress people see when suddenly they know the water truck is no longer coming. So to see that on top of, a child is being killed in Gaza every single hour since the horrors of October 7. So I go in hospitals and I see that every single day. So it was more of the same, which to any human is abhorrent and jarring, but somehow it's much, much worse. And that's largely around, as you say, a failed aid distribution and water deprivation. I met an elderly Palestinian man who was saying, look, James, we've learned to live without so much. We've learned to live without our homes that have been destroyed. We've learned to live without loved ones. Many of us have seen loved ones killed, but we can't live without food. I saw the same man 11 days later, and he said almost the same thing, which was, we've learned to live without so much. Homes destroyed, loved ones killed, and we've even learnt we can live without food. Maybe even for a week, maybe two, but we cannot live without water. So even the short period I was there, I was seeing that stress on communities. I met a little girl, Kathy, and we said, how are you? And she did the Arabic expression for fine, alhamdulillah. And my translator said, no, really, how are you? And she said, well, what do you want me to say? My mother was killed. I used to be beautiful, and now I spend every day chasing water trucks. So yeah, the situation of people is much, much worse and would horrify anyone. The reality is that if there is a famine, that's too late. Famine means mass deaths. Starvation, which is, a layer before, is happening. And starvation means that a child's body, its immune system is collapsing. There's already cognitive decline, which becomes irreversible in children. So children's bodies aren't waiting for some technical definition to occur. And that's what I think is so harrowing there, to see this systematic deprivation. And now, of course, nutrition, we talk famine, but what do we talk about with water? There's no word that gets the world's attention, but there needs to be, because that's what's occurring right now for mums and dads and families in Gaza. Water goes from the source to the recipient. Why on earth are there such restrictions that we now have a risk of children dying of thirst? We have a meningitis. If not an outbreak, we have great spikes in meningitis. That's based on deprivations of water, deprivations of food, deprivations of medical care, and populations being forced into an area.
Just think about the heat that we've had over the last week, right? And how much we've all moaned. We've all done it. Oh, I wish I was a pool. I wish I was this. I wish I was that. Imagine that much, much hotter in the Middle East. And your baby is thirsty. And you can't give them a drink. And then let's talk about making the choice to leave your country. We're giving them the choice. The Palestinians deserve that. That James from UNICEF, I truly don't know how he continues on. He's been back and forth from there the entire time. He has made the most impassioned pleas over and over again. How can you not believe this guy? He's worked for UNICEF for years. How have we lost all respect for these agencies? I just don't.
As
long as I live, I will never ever understand how the world just didn't listen to these people.
It's quite an accomplishment by a government, a Labour government, a Labour
there's
government.
No word. Listen to that.
Yeah.
There's no word for starvation of water. Purposeful, because obviously there are countries all over the world that are suffering terribly with droughts and they can't get water. They are being disallowed water. Keir Starmer, remember, we will never forget, said it was all right. It was okay to turn off the water. And look where we are. Imagine your period, you're having a baby, you've had a baby. Imagine all those situations where water is the absolute answer, right? And as he says, we can live days without food. We can't live days without water.
Well, the Palestinian man was saying they've managed to curate their lives around every deprivation.
But this is
the one that you can't. And the other thing that James said was indicating there, which I think is something I'm, at the moment, butting my head up against. We've lost the capacity for language to articulate what's going on. We have literally entered a non-linguistic hellhole of no words to adequately represent the horror that we are
of
feeling
starving
and we are
someone of
witnessing.
water.
And
What we need to come up with the word, you know, because it's a new word. It's a new word that dictators can punish normal human beings. And it's always the poorest in the world, isn't it? The richest and the poorest.
and then
To keep the water away. Even my father's country, Jordan, border, the water is controlled by Israel. They've got the tap, you know. You know who else has got the tap for something? Who is it? Who is it that we damn him the whole time? Who is it? Who's got a big tap? Putin and all. And we're constantly told about what a terrible dictator is, that he could just turn the bloody oil. Well, what about this guy? Water that comes from the sky. Let's go back.
You're not allowed to
Let's go
collect
back
it.
to
You're not
Cudman
allowed-
earlier. £3, £6, depends on your location.
But you're not allowed to collect water in Gaza.
You're not allowed to collect it. if you're not allowed to collect water.
We are in a non-linguistic language scenario where nothing we say can articulate what we feel. Nothing we say can represent the horrors we're seeing. We are rendered mute. And what is happening because of that muteness that we're all feeling is that the monsters in charge are able to exploit the gap and the zone of interest. Please see the zone of interest. An incredible film that is all about now.
Made by a Jew who then donated all the profits to it to Palestinian.
You remember he won
charities.
the Best Foreign Picture.
He won
in
Best
his
Foreign
Oscar
Picture.
speech, he then got pulled down by the same group of Israeli propagandists in this country in America for daring to speak out.
Let's try and think of a word, guys. For starving, imagine that. And a man from UNICEF has said there is no word for starving people for water. We've run, you know how many times we go, there are no words. We've literally run out of a word, which there is no word for it in the dictionary.
There's a word. I don't want to get academic for a minute, but we must move on. But there is a word. There's a philosopher called Julia Kristeva, and she wrote a book called The Abject, and it's a book about abjection. And this is a part of Freudian psychoanalysis. And abjection is around those parts of the body and those parts of life for which language starts to collapse on itself. So the idea of abjection, and it's a huge part of like studies around the horror films, stuff like that. Horror films are interested in the non-linguistic, the horror of stuff that you can't articulate with words. And Julia Kristeva, I had the great privilege of seeing her give a lecture once. She is a philosopher. I think she might be dead now, philosopher. And she talked about the unspeakable. And obviously it revolves around things like bodily harm, a lot of stuff she did. She's a feminist philosopher around cultural intolerances of menstruating and menstrual blood and stuff like that. The stuff that we can't hold at the arm's length because we can't bear it. What's happened here is the abject, which is the non-linguistic, the horror, the stuff of nightmares, has been put into the center of our lives. And worse still, we have the masters of ceremonies in the form of Trump and Netanyahu giving it a neat justification with administrative language and a cheeky little charm.
So stupid.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Ooh. Shall we move on to I want to just share something with you. It's in the news at the moment. Elon Musk's GROK, the AI, just finally on this. It's a quick story. Went rogue apparently in the last 24, 48 hours. It started to trot out that Hitler would have been the best person to deal with migration. So it suddenly went rogue, and they've had to kind of rein it in and correct it. And I went down a bit of a wormhole with GROK, which is
never gone on it.
Which is X's AI. And I said, what's happened here? I thought I'd test the question. Which leader is best equipped to deal with the current situation in the world to see if they corrected it? And it didn't say Hitler. It said, you're probably referring to the controversy in recent days. So GROK, Musk's Twitter AI, has now been kind of, has even contextualized its own mistake. So then I thought, let's go a bit further. I'm going to ask it a simple question. Is Israel committing a genocide? And it went into a very long answer saying this is contentious. There's many disputes.
Really long answer.
You know, from Amnesty International. It's an incredibly comprehensive long list. It then presents the Israeli point of view, the argument for self-defense. And then I asked it this. I said, look, cut to the chase. Can you just tell me in a yes or no way, give me it straight. Is Israel committing a genocide? Yes or no? And this is GROK. This is GROK. And this was the answer. Yes. So I'm not entirely sure what we can all do with this information other than even Elon Musk's AI system gives a definitive yes. When you ask, give me it straight. Don't give me all of the Israel defense. Don't give me all of the kind of legal kind of, you know, jargonese and whether it's been officially decided as such by the ICJ. It says yes.
What do you think of that, guys?
So there you go. Put it into the one of the. I just think it's just interesting that everyone is just quibbling and quabbling and I don't know if I can get on board with it, and you know, Martha, whatever her name on Tatebro. Can you really say, Jen? I mean, if you don't, it's like seeing the films of the after World War II and pretending it didn't happen. I mean, where are we at? Where are we at that we're querying, questioning, and challenging what we are seeing and what we are experiencing, what the world has experienced? It's genocide, pure and simple. So anyway,
sorry, I just put in something about Israel and water. This is from Amnesty International in 2017. The occupation of water.
Wow.
The legacy of Israel's 50-year occupation of Palestinian territories has been systematic human rights violation. One of its most devastating consequences is the impact of Israel's discrimination policies on Palestinians' access to adequate supplies of clean and safe water. So they've just escalated what they've done for decades. Wow, interesting.
We are going to be doing a separate upload.
Somebody asked a question about the water, that's why.
Oh, right. We are going to be doing a separate upload about the whole Epstein list.
And my God.
And its possible connection to...
And MAGA is
Mossad. Turning
against for this. They found the thing that MAGA will not accept. Interesting.
There has to be a reason Donald Trump is looking with goo-goo eyes at Bibi Netanyahu across the table at the White House. And it has to be to do with, I think, something to do with the Epstein files.
But that's a separate thing that we're going to do a separate video. So should we have this comedy bit?
Shall we have a look at Hugh Grant?
Yeah.
Hugh Grant at Wimbledon yesterday.
Everybody engrossed.
We love him anymore. What is the woman next to him? No. That is why.
Everybody engrossed.
Did he say obviously?
Yeah, I think if you listen.
Everybody engrossed.
Oh, everybody engrossed.
Everybody engrossed.
Those of you listening, we're watching Hugh Grant
fast asleep in Wimbledon.
And I just thought it might be a funny opportunity to talk about moments we've fallen asleep.
Can we just talk about Hugh Grant first?
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about Hugh Grant.
God, he's so lovely. He even falls asleep at Wimbledon.
You need to watch his horror film in which he plays this incredibly avuncular monster.
I think I'd watch anything with him in.
Oh, okay. You should watch it. Heretic, I think it's called. Yeah. I love Hugh Grant too. I really do. He was the greatest thing.
I don't love him as much as they love you.
Oh, well, that's nice to know.
Yeah.
That's fortunate. Good thing he's wearing sunglasses, otherwise we'd all know he's asleep.
Oh my God.
Have you ever slumped I mean, you've sometimes yawned when I'm talking on this live.
Oh yeah.
But you've never fallen asleep.
Once I had children, after having the kids, because it's so much sleep is broken. I say you never get that bloody sleep back when those madams steal from you. So I did famously fall asleep in the opening night of
50 Shades of
Grey.
That
was a premiere. That was a premiere. Well, I had a couple of drinks.
You fall asleep at the cinema a lot.
I don't nowadays.
No.
But yes, once I had kids, I did. Famously, once I took a pillow to the cinema with us. Remember, and you and the girls were so furious with me.
Well, because you were planning to sleep.
Well, no,
That
I'd accepted. Listen, nearly every mum in the world will say, "Don't put me in a cinema. Don't put me in a dark room with a screen." You know, like toddlers when they drop off, and people always think, "Oh God, you don't like the film." I could be absolutely loving that film, but if I'm so tired and it goes dark, I'm soothed off to sleep.
Me and Maddie are the most intolerant watcher-alongers with people. She hates it when she said,
even
"Please
if I
watch
bleep
this."
too much because I'm not going to miss something.
Yeah. She just like,
So
she
like
looks at you in the reflection, and she's like, and she'll turn to me often, and she'll go, "She's gone." I'm like, look, you had 5 minutes.
The girls.
What do you
so
mean?
like Mark.
But
They are
babe,
such a
with
mixture
all due
of
respect, I'm a filmmaker, so when I'm looking at stuff,
I don't
and I'm
think it's
showing
bad.
stuff, I'm like,
No,
this is you don't watch things visually. You're not interested in you're not interested in the visuals. You're interested in the story.
Well, that's not true.
It is true.
I do love
I can't believe you're with a stylist, but
Who's a stylist?
Me. I mean, when I'm shooting stuff, it's all about every shot is curated and everything. But you're only interested in the story.
Well,
it's true.
What's wrong with that?
You're only interested
No,
in the
I'm
story.
not only interested in the story. But if I was the most interested ever in the story, if it's dark and I'm tired, I'm going to fall asleep.
Okay. I queued from 5 a.m, says Claire Mazuz, to get into Wimbledon on Tuesday. Love him lots, but he could have passed his ticket on to me if he was only there for an afternoon nap.
My friend said she joined the queue for the Grand thing, and there was 8,500 people when she got there in the queue, but she got in.
Wow.
It was a hard day. It was a hard day's work.
I mean, I wanted to get into tennis this year, and I started watching it for a bit at my mum's because I just got bored very quickly.
I recently got invited to a party being held for Hugh Grant.
I'm trying to think where our film is.
And I didn't go.
God.
Because everyone at work was going, "How could you not go? How could you not go?" And I was like, I'd just be too embarrassed.
Why would you have tried to snog him?
No, of course I wouldn't. But I mean, what would I say to
Do
Hugh
check
Grant?
out check out our Home Time recent one with Lisa Majuto, our friend. She's in it, and she does an impersonation of when she did his wife's makeup. Do you remember? And he came to the door. She couldn't believe she was. She does. Do check it out. It's very funny.
Oh my God, yeah. She was just because she opened the door because she was in the hotel room doing his wife's makeup. And there was a knock on the door, and she said he was just standing like that against the door. She goes, "He wasn't performing; it was just Hugh Grant." He said, "Well, hello. I'm just wondering if you want anything." But she didn't know his wife. She didn't know that was his wife. And apparently, his wife was laughing, but just at like her response, because obviously everyone swoons when they see her husband.
Yeah. Oxidus Magicus, we talk about many different things. We've spent a good 45 minutes talking about the Gaza. I mean,
he's been with us
throughout. No. But I think you asked the question, why are we talking about tennis when there's a genocide going on?
So Oxidus, yes, maybe. I've seen you here a few times, and you really do contribute beautifully. Yeah. But this is, well, before the genocide, we'd probably do 4 or 5 different subjects. But we do a lot, and we've probably lost people to this show because of that, because we talk about it a lot, but we always go with what's true to our hearts. So we've spoken for almost half an hour about it today. So we do talk about other things. Sometimes you might come here and we might have 6 different subjects.
Especially in Coffee Moaning. When it's Coffee Moaning, we will usually home in, and we have paid special attention to Gaza as we do in all of our dedicated uploads.
But it might seem a bit odd.
It might seem, you're right, it might seem odd that suddenly we make a
bit like you with the sunbed.
Yeah, a handbrake turn suddenly towards something. It's kind of just to provide an antidote for us to kind of breathe for a moment before we all double back
But also
down.
what we say about this show is what's happening in our kitchen. So we would be talking a certain amount of this, and then we'd go over to that, and then I'd be making some food. And so it's, if I had to put it into a title, I would say Kitchen Table News. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
If we call it Kitchen Table News.
But you will probably have noticed, Oxidus, that we upload dedicated films just about Gaza, just about Trump, just about news stories.
But nice to have you here.
Okay.
And if you could all please just hit the subscribe button, that would be fantastic to help us out.
And we're gonna leave with a funny clip. I thought this might be quite a nice strand. Looking forward, this is funny sketches from shows. Do you remember Smack the Pony? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do very well.
Check this sketch out, which did make me chuckle earlier today.
Oh no, thank you so much for a completely brilliant evening. What an amazing thing to do with the trout.
Fish kettle. I'll fax you the recipe.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hey, thanks so much for bringing all that wine, you know.
Oh,
it's lovely.
No worries.
It's really nice. It's so delicious.
I drank most of it, didn't I? And, Yeah, no, it's a complete bargain as well. I'll email you the website.
Okay, cool. And what, see you in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Good.
Anyway, I've got an early start tomorrow, so.
Yeah.
Chris, are you ready?
Yeah.
So bye then.
Thank you very much.
Can we have a little chat?
Yeah, what's up?
I actually had to stop looking because I was finding it so repulsive.
No, I know, but it was the
I wasn't
punchline.
expecting that end. That was really
Very
good.
funny.
We should have said, wait for the end.
Yeah, I did.
I just wanted to send you this, Mark, because I
Yes.
really wanted to put, because I quite like this thing that we're doing of having a little fact, interesting
Oh,
fact.
yes, you said
So
yesterday.
can we?
I was in the midst of Beaupile
No,
hell.
no, it's
Beaupile hell? I was in Beaupile hell. I've got a new word, Nat.
That's a good
I
one.
don't have bipolar. I have Beaupile.
Beaupile. How do we say it?
Beaupile hell. I was in Beaupile hell.
Beaupile.
So I thought that was a great sketch. I mean, it's deeply discomforting.
It's very funny.
And then the way she just says, what an amazing thing to do with a trowel. Right at the beginning. I just loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Beaupile, have you found it?
God.
Interesting facts. I think
Yeah,
this
because
is.
I think we like these little factoids.
Shall I play this clip that a friend of
Let me
yours
find
sent us earlier?
Yeah.
This is political again for
He's
you,
funny.
Oxidus.
An artist called Bob Dylan. I asked this question to a very old crowd. They're like, Bob Dylan is the great. Like, okay, I don't think you heard me correctly. He starts to chant at a show where he says, death, death, the IDF, in a British way, which, like, nothing sounds threatening. You ever listen to, like, British gangster rap and you're like, you guys don't do this. You know what I mean? Like, f*** you up, man. Like, I'll pop you in the face, shit. Pop you in the face, mate. Like, okay. Are guns even legal there? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm not scared, is what I'm saying. He was like, deaf to the IDF, deaf to the IDF. But if you're in the IDF, I could understand. It's like you're one day off, you just got back from killing a family or whatever, and you're just like trying to relax and not think of anything political, and then you turn on the live stream of the Glastonbury Festival, and you see someone chanting death to the IDF, and this guy's like in great shape. He's in better shape than anyone in the IDF. Bob Dylan, by the way. First of all, his name is Bob Villain. You're gonna get mad at a guy who called himself a pun with villain in it. He knew exactly what this video was gonna do. He posted it himself. He posts a picture of himself later that night eating ice cream. And he said, Zion is all salty in my DMs, but here I am enjoying a nice cone of vegan ice cream. This whole time, this guy's a vegan. Sure, you want to have an outrage over a violent chant. Dude, maybe ask the deeper question. How bad do you have to f*** up that you have a vegan chanting death to you? That guy doesn't even eat.
Oh my
That
god. The
guy
guy doesn't
doesn't
even
even
eat salmon. Very funny.
Isn't that funny?
Did you
Oh
get
my
your
God.
fact?
Yeah, hang on. Wait, just talk to the people.
Okay, a posh vegan says good shit lollipop. Absolutely, very funny. Should we just, for the sake of it, just have another look at you going?
Everybody engrossed. Everybody engrossed.
Everybody engrossed. Everybody engrossed.
Okay, so
nothing
what
more
should-
boring than a game of tennis.
So I'm going to send this to you, and then just bear with us. It's okay. People
I
can
fell
go.
asleep. One of the worst places the worst place I
I've
fall
sent it
asleep
to you.
is in the theatre. It's
It's
just,
the what? Do you know what I
it's horrendous.
once? I was
What do you want
so.
me to do with it? Rip
I
it?
wanted to show it. To
Oh,
them.
okay. So give me time.
So actually, you can just show them that, and I can read it.
Okay.
Okay, so look at this, guys.
Sorry, guys.
I love things like this. I love these weird health facts. Right.
Why
so what can you
your
see
calf
there?
is called the second heart.
Did anybody know this?
I noticed they mentioned the Soleo, which is
Yeah.
what I injured that time.
The heart is your circulation engine.
Yes.
But what if we told you your calf muscles, especially the gastrocnemius and soleus, are just as important? They're often called the second heart muscle, and here's why. Every time you walk, fidget, tiptoe, or rise up on your toes, your calf muscle pumps, contracts. This mechanical force pushes blood upward through your veins, fighting gravity in what's known as venous return circulation, Venus. Without this pump, your legs struggle to return blood to your heart. That's why they say, like, after a meal, to stand and do at least 20 calf raises every day. We should all do that. That's where problems begin. Leg vein health suffers, blood pooling starts, you risk deep vein thrombosis, you may experience swelling, fatigue. Yeah, but you can even do it sitting, right? Or fatigue. Everyone says they're too tired. You know, maybe if you might work your calves more, or vascular strain. This is why physiotherapy for circulation includes exercise that boost lower limb circulation, especially for people with sedentary routines. So if you're somebody that sits at your desk all day, like you are, Mark, working, do this, do your calf raises. If you use a standing desk, sit long hours, or live with poor mobility, this post is for you. Even short daily movements offer huge calf muscle function gains and provide lasting calf compression benefits that protect your entire cardiovascular system. Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing.
We don't think of our calves.
No. I'll have you know, for all of your constant desk shaming me for sitting. My health. I'm
not just shaming.
No, I know. My health is
at my health. I don't have to.
My health on Fitbit is at 45 to 49 for my age,
he's taking
which
it
is
personally.
Over excellent. Yeah. So
he's taking it personally. So pretend it's not.
Something else to worry about, says Carol Nason.
Let's think that it's not all about Mark, right? No, it's not something else to worry about. It's something else to be enthused by, right? So if somebody is always saying to you, well, sitting at your desk is really bad for you, you can know that just by like either getting up or staying down and doing like 20 slow calf raises like that, you might be doing something more, if you do that regularly, than somebody who isn't looking after their calf.
Hedgewitch says, I am being treated for fragmented blood clot. This info is really helpful.
Thank you, Hedge.
Yeah.
And if you've got things like...
Oxidus magicus is back.
If you've got things like Raynaud's disease, you know, where your circulation isn't good and you get really cold feet, again, just do it. Lymphatic drainage. It's a really nice fact.
Here is a better fact. When you die, you still always have the same atoms you had while alive in infinite time. Those atoms will come together again and make up the exact makeup you now have.
Really?
Fucking hell, that's blown my brain.
Oh, I love that.
I'm completely blown out.
So is that reincarnation?
No, is that reincarnation?
No, because you come back as something.
We are all atoms. We are all just
energy.
dust. You can't kill energy. No, absolutely. Anyway, we can kill this live, and I think we need to stop because we've been on for 56 minutes. I've got to get going. All right, guys.
All right, lovelies. Take care. Lots of love.
Do subscribe. Something, as we say, something else will be landing later. Just keep your eyes and ears peeled.
From Australia. Great. Nice to see you.
Take care, guys.